To smoke off Catwalk tunnel from ladder, simply walk into this corner just here, aim at the middle of the black line here on the archway, take a step forward and left click throw. It'll bounce off into the middle of the arch, smoke it off and leave these two corners exposed. To smoke off the right side of sight, walk into the same corner in this pillar, aim at this box but the top left bracket, take a step forward and left click throw. It'll bounce off and smoke off this right area of the sight. There'll be no gaps in the smoke for them to one way or peek you through. To smoke off the angle from CT tunnel from ladder room, walk into the same corner, aim at the same box but this time the bottom right bracket, take a tiny step forward and left click throw. It'll bounce off and cover the angle just here. There'll be no gaps in the smoke for the CTs to one way or pick you through. If you need to take cover at the back of tunnel from any pushy CTs, jump back off the top of the ladder and take cover behind this box just here. If you need to do a flash, you can aim just at this line just here, crouch down and it'll pop flash over and flash them and not you so that you can hold the angle.
Any ideas?
For a good pre-fire as you come out of T-tunnel, the left side of this small right sight box is completely bullet penetrable. The hole in the wall is the gap in the mosaic above, and if you aim just above this line of hazard tape on this part of the wood, you'll be firing at head height for any CTs that are coming through the tunnel. You can also shoot the body of the box with an AK-47 to shoot the middle of the hole and to any CTs on the other side. After the bomb is planted, many people like to play in this position here. This isn't that good because you have to peek in order to get information or jump and give away yourself with a lot of noise. Instead, try jump on the barrel and jump again onto the ledge of this little box so that you can have a great view of sight. You can throw some utility from this spot, such as burning CT tunnel, by aiming at this hazard tape just here and left click throwing. It'll bounce off and burn into the tunnel. To burn hole in the wall, you can aim just at the tip of the mosaic line just here and left click throw. And to burn Catwalk tunnel, simply aim just at the black line and throw into the tunnel. An example of what it would be like to be peeked from that position would be if you were coming in and checking all the angles, it'd be quite conceivable you would miss the top of the T's head just there. Take advantage of the 3 boxes on site. All you'll have to do is get a teammate to crouch down and you jump on their head and you can be boosted up into a spot that's higher that will allow you to control key choke points on the map. All of the boxes on site are boostable and they'll give you different angles to control different areas. An example of what it would feel like to be peeked from one of these boosted positions would be like this. Imagine I'm a CT coming in on a clutch moment sweeping the angle. It would be quite conceivable that I would miss the T's head just above this box here. Another good position is this one for watching CT tunnel. If I was a CT coming through on a clutch moment, the person that's crouched on this box is completely invisible until they stood up and took off my head. The final position up here is incredibly good for watching Catwalk tunnel. Any CT that's coming through here checking the default angles could quite conceivably miss a T that's above him. Take advantage of the cover that this large middle sight box provides you. In a clutch situation you can use utility from the other side without even being seen by your opponent. This negates the need to peek out and get information in a clutch moment. Simply jump and right click to throw a pop flash, and this works all 4 ways around the box. These grenades are completely silent as you can hear, and the only thing they will hear are your footsteps as you jump back onto the ground. Successfully using utility around the main sight box can be done with more than just flashbangs. In a key clutch situation you can push back an enemy with a Molotov without them even seeing you. Simply do the same jump right click motion to throw an enemy back. This works all 4 ways around the box and is extremely useful for giving you that extra 5-6 seconds you'll need in a clutch situation to wait for the bomb to go off. I cannot tell you how many times in a clutch moment these have made me win the round by pushing an enemy back for those few extra seconds. For a good clutch nade spot into CT tunnel, simply come into this corner here, aim up at the pillar. Don't throw directly at it, but aim just a bit off of it and throw down. It'll bounce up and flash into the tunnel. You can do this with Molotovs as well to push back an enemy in a clutch situation. A good pop flash for if you're on site and want to get someone that's in Catwalk tunnel is to come to this corner here, get your flashbang out and just aim your crosshair just at the tip of this Arabic writing here, left click throw. It'll bounce off and flash behind you. If you were on the receiving end of this, most of the trajectory would be hidden and all you would see would just be the flick at the end and it would completely blind you. If you can both boost yourself onto the boxes on site, you can get your teammate to crouch down, jump on their head, both stand up and then jump across to the top of the archway on the other side. This is an extremely advantageous position and you can catch any CTs coming through CT tunnel this way. Playing the stairwell as a terrorist can be quite tricky because quite often the CTs get there before you, so unless you really know your pre-fire, it's going to be quite hard to get there before the CT can pick you off. To safely get out of this door, simply you need to smoke off this cross. To do that, stand at the top of the stairs here when the black line disappears. Aim at the line where the blue mosaic meets the wall, just here, and left click throw a smoke grenade. It will then bounce off the wall and cover the cross so that you can safely exit out of this doorway. Sometimes you can follow this up with a Molotov to the right, which means they can't come around and peek you, and you have total control of Catwalk for 5 or 6 seconds. If you haven't got any utility, and there is a CT here holding the angle, you can get your teammate to boost you up onto Catwalk without the CTs even seeing you. Simply just jump and crouch onto this box here, and get your teammate to crouch so that you can jump on their head, jump up so that they can stand up, and this will get you onto Catwalk here. This will give you the element of surprise when you next repeat the CT a lot closer than he anticipated. An extremely easy tip, but one that many people forget, is that you can use this ledge here to go all the way around and end up on the CT side of Catwalk and in their spawn. This is extremely useful if you're on an eco and they have left this whole outside area unguarded because they are both playing inside. This can allow you to wrap round and catch the CTs off guard from behind very easily. If you're playing outside on Catwalk and you've got a friend stuck here in the ladder tunnel, he can't exit because he's on an eco or he doesn't have any utility to face the CT that's holding the angle quite tightly. You can help them out from this position out here with a Popflash. Simply jump into this corner here, aim at the little gap between the boxes and the right tip of the arch here, take a step forward and left click throw. This will throw a Popflash deep into sight and it'll pop here and flash the CT that's in this tunnel here and force him backwards. You can do the same with a smoke grenade with the exact same trick. Stand in this spot here, aim just off the right of the tip of the arch and the gap between the boxes, take a step forward and left click throw. It'll go into the middle here, smoke it off and allow your friend to push out onto site and plant the bomb where you can cover him. It's a common planting spot to plant here and get someone to cover that from Catwalk. This is a good position, but I don't often recommend it, and this is because why? Although you do have great cover here and can protect the bomb from a far distance, it's very easy for a CT to come along in a clutch moment, smoke off the tunnel and deny your visual access to the bomb. Even if you do remember where it is, a CT can cross over and flush you out with a Molotov, which will force you to move off the boxes and forget where the bomb was planted. If you're trying to save a weapon in T-spawn, or you have CTs consistently pushing down the ramp to try and get you for information, you can crouch on just this tiny ledge here, aim through the paint pot, and you can get a good shot. An example of what it would be like to play against that spot would be that it would be quite conceivable that you would miss the head, or find it quite hard to flick quickly if you had an AWP up there. If you have managed to do a sneaky play all the way up ramp without being detected, you can come and crouch up to this wall here and aim at the black line at the top of the mosaic. This will let you throw as much utility and grenades as you need to into CT tunnel from outside. This is useful if you need to smoke off or cover the angle so that the teammate in ladder room can cross out onto site safely. If you want to carry on playing outside and you want to get utility into the back end of CT tunnel, simply aim just off the tip of the middle of the arch, throw in, and you can throw utility in that way. This is very useful for trapping a CT right in the back of the tunnel where they can't really do that much. A good pre-fire spot for if you are a CT is to come and line yourself up with this headlight, aim at the tip of the black strap before it disappears into the wall, and fire. This will shoot through into the ladder room tunnel, and any Ts crossing out could get shot at head height and insta-kill them, which will turn the tide of battle very quickly early on in the round. Sometimes as a CT you'll be coming through a hole in the wall and you'll be smoked off site, such as this. You need to know how to use the rubble behind you to ascertain where the terrorists are. If you jump and crouch onto this here, you have a good view back over the boxes onto them as well. Sometimes they'll be planting directly on the other side of the box, such as this, and you can just throw a Molotov and it will stop them from planting unless they're planting in the smoke. Remember that you can use the tiny bit of rubble on this side as well to quickly check in a clutch situation if there's going to be anyone on the left side of the tunnel. If there isn't, usually that means they're over here and you know where to check. If you need to boost yourself onto the sight boxes, simply walk up until you get caught between this stick and the sight box in this corner. Jump and then crouch onto the ledge, and then jump and you're on top of the boxes. Remember that from all these boxes, once you're up here, all the boxes are interchangeable and you can get to all of them from any one of them. If you need to play together and save weapons as a CT, a good place to boost together is in this corner here. If you just get your teammate to stand at the bottom of the stairs, you can jump on their head and you can get a good view of Catwalk. If you jump off their head and onto this wooden ledge here, you can see all the way down ramp. This is good for if he is checking down the tunnel and you need to save weapons as a duo right at the back of the tunnel here. Another good place to play together in the tunnel here is if you smoke off this tight angle here and get your teammate to stand here, crouch, so that you can get on their head and then stand up. It'll give you a good view of the site, especially over a smoke. This is extremely powerful if there are Ts trying to plant on site quickly and you need to play together. CT tunnel is a very advantageous position to play. I play it a lot myself, and this is because you can see with a good view down Catwalk tunnel and you can see into ladder room tunnel. If for some reason you're not doing your job as a CT and you're getting pushed off the angle here by a T that has better aim than you can flash them back. Like with the other pillar, you want to throw your flashbang so that it bounces off this area, which means aiming up into the blue and running and left clicking. As a T coming out of the tunnel here, they will peek it, they will see the trajectory of the nade go off there, and they'll think, where the hell is that going, and it'll bounce straight back into their view and pop flash them back. This is good because you're in cover whilst throwing it, and whilst it flashes you can use that quick second to peek and regain control of the angle and hold it. Because I spend a lot of my time here in CT tunnel, I like to know how to quickly use utility to shut down angles that I don't like. To do this, I'll come back into this little corner of the boxes. To throw anything down into Catwalk tunnel, aim just at the tip of the box just here, left click throw, and it will send anything that I need down into there to shut down the angle. To do the hole in the wall from the same position, all I need to do is aim just at the tip of this blue thing here where it meets the black line just here, left click throw again, and it will then do the hole in the wall. This is good if I follow it up with a smoke to exactly smoke off the hole in the wall. I can do the same if they are pushing out of ladder room and I need to push here, aim just at this white line here where it meets the black mosaic, run forward, left click. This will put a molly here so that they can't push around the corner if I need to pull back if I'm using a scout, and then allow my chance for a teammate to rotate so that we can get more eyes on sight. I see so many people misusing the windows of this Humvee. The only windows that you can shoot through are this one and this one. You cannot shoot through any of the others, although you can use them to peek to get information. If I try this now for you now, if there was a person planting at the edge of this box here, I could shoot them, as you can see the bullet goes through and it would hurt them. However, if I tried it through these two windows, I would not get the same effect and it wouldn't even come through this window. So make sure if you are using the Humvee outside that you are using it to its full potential and shooting through the right windows, and remember that you are always vulnerable to ramp and catwalk, so sometimes it's better to just smoke close to yourself so that you are invisible from the left and then play from here. If you get smoked off by a T on this cross here, there's a good trick that you can do to pre-fire through that. If you're an AWPer up here on the CT side of Catwalk, come up to this little curved ledge in the wall here. Get your AWP out or any other weapon and just aim a third off the tip. This will allow you to pre-fire through the smoke into the doorway and to any waiting Ts that are trying to cross out of the door. If you are struggling with that tip, as it's quite a hard one to do, if you are smoked off, you can creep up as a CT on the ledge of this. Just jump up until you get just a very quick idea of where the door is here. You can see the outline here. You know that you can spray through that doorway, knowing that you know where it is roughly through the smoke because of your quick jump up onto here. This is really powerful in raining bullets into the doorway without having to line it up. If you're trying to cover the CT side of Catwalk and you've had a bad spawn all the way back here and you're trying to cover the stairwell, but instead you've got there quite late, if you know there's going to be a T AWPer there, so there's no point you rushing out into his fire and dying, you can line yourself up here with this wall. Just as the gap disappears, walk up to it, aim at the edge of this rock just here, jump throw, so jump left click, and you'll throw a smoke. This will bounce off here and bounce onto the barrels here and smoke off this AWPer's angle. This means that you can push forward or maybe push up here where you can hide behind these boxes and catch him later on as he pushes out. If you're playing out here on the barrels and perhaps you've lost the round and need to retreat and save your weapon, you can come down to the corner of this staircase, crouch down and aim again at the blue line of the mosaic on the wall here. If you then just left click, it'll bounce off into the tunnel and smoke it off. This will hopefully stop them from pushing you if they're not too greedy, and then you can watch the bottom of the ladders through this stairwell just here. Another extremely popular position is tucked away in this corner here. It's really good because you can jump and see over into ladder tunnel as well as see catwalk tunnel. Remember what I showed you about being vulnerable though to the barrel peeker outside, but as long as you're aware you shouldn't get caught out by any sneaky plays. The good thing is that you can do some really nice flashes and grenades from this spot. Also, this box right in front of you is bullet penetrable, so if you know they're peeking out and going to be coming through this tight little gap here, you can just creep out, crouch down, and just spray through the box. You'll be hurting anyone that's trying to squeeze through this little choke point here. Some good nades you can do is if you aim just above the arch here, and you can pop flash everyone that's pushing out of ladder room. Just aim well up into it and throw it, run forward and left click. This will be a nasty pop flash for anyone that's trying to peek out and you know you can hear steps or they're trying to rush out. This is a really, really nice flash. You can also do the same with Molotovs to get them from this position. And you can also throw them deep into catwalk tunnel to prevent any pushes from areas that you don't like. It's good to know if you are in certain situations how to use utility really quickly. You need to know how to use utility in quick situations to shut down angles that you don't want people coming from. So if you want to smoke off Catwalk from up here on the boost, aim at this black line on the wall here, left click, and it will bounce off into there. If you want to smoke off hole in the wall, aim at the bottom left of this box, bounce it, and it will bounce into there. I see so many players trying to smoke off hole in the wall and throwing it way too deep and it ends up far outside. If you want to smoke off close right here, do a little forward step and do a right click so that it bounces down into the tunnel. And if you want to smoke off this tunnel just here, follow the mosaic along and again do a forward step, right click, and it will bounce down into the ladder room tunnel. To do the same kind of thing from the other side of the boxes on a boost, you want to do small right clicks for the holes that are next to you, so a small right click like that. Aim at the black line and do a small forward right click for that. When you want to smoke off this tunnel perfectly, aim at this black line here on the arch and then just left click. It'll bounce off the box in the middle and perfectly smoke off the whole of the tunnel. This tunnel is extremely hard because it's a lot wider and smoking all of it in one go is difficult. So what you want to do is aim at the bottom left side of this barrel, just on this line here, and then just left throw. It'll smoke off the whole tunnel like that. Yeah, so hopefully those tips and tricks helped you. There are quite a few of them. I hope you kind of got through them alright. Let me know if it was a load of crap or whether they really genuinely helped you in your games. So, you know, it's really helpful to kind of get feedback on the kind of stuff that I'm doing. Let me know how it goes. And yeah, peace out guys. I'm going to make some more Wingman tip videos for Rialto and Lake and stuff like that. And I hope to see you soon and you'll catch up with me in the 145 Discord. So peace out guys. See you again soon. Take it easy.